Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wild Moments brought to you by explore.org. It's me, Trishala, and we have Ben in the house. Hi, Ben.
Hi Trish, hey everybody. What a pleasure to be back. Looking forward to some more fascinating clips.
Yes, and this week it's been a bit of a quiet week, but we still have some super cool clips that we're going to share with all of you. And if this is the first time that you're joining us, remember that we're live and interactive, which means you can send us questions and comments. You can say hi. You can tell us how you're enjoying the show today. I've just got a glass of water. How about you, Ben?
You could say,
Tea.
Trish, in classic English fashion.
Classic. Nice. We've already got some hellos coming through. We have Casper's Third Ghost that says, "Good Thursday, all," from a snowy and blustery Milwaukee, ready with hot coffee for warmth from African scenes and stories. I think that these scenes and stories will definitely be able to keep you warm, and the coffee will too. Jive Bunny says, "Hi to Trishala and Ben from SW England." Is that South Wales? What is SW, Ben?
It could be South Wales, it could be the Southwest. Yeah, not 100% sure, but always nice
You
to
are
have
meant to be our
some
UK expert.
English representing. I would say it's England.
Yeah, okay. Hello, Jive Bunny. Tris Vessop. Oh, Tris Vessop, we haven't seen you in a while. You say, "Hello, everyone. You're happy to join us live today." Well, we're very glad to have you on board. Bridget McKenney is here. You say hi to both Ben and I. And Amber Co says, "A few seconds ago, and a few seconds ago, and animal enthusiasts, wishing all a day of many smiles and small miracles." Oh, coffee and donut here today. You know, Ben, every time I hear what people are consuming when they watch the show, I feel very boring.
And possibly a
Zago,
bit jealous. I think next time we do this, I'm going to have a donut to hand.
yeah, I think, few and far between I've had the pleasure of having a coffee and a donut. And it makes me feel like I'm a cop in some series, but it makes so much sense. It goes so well together. That's what we're going to do next time. Zygote says hello to both of us, and so does Kaoru. Hello, you both. And Dear NC says good morning from Seattle. Of course, you're ready with your coffee. Be a Lion Outdoors. Hello. You're new. Haven't heard that name before. You say good morning from Canada. Thank you for joining us. You say it's the first time catching an episode live. Well, we are thrilled to have you here live. Remember, you can ask whatever you like. No silly questions, only silly answers. So feel free to ask whatever you like. Maybe, everybody's been wondering something and you think it's silly, but nobody else was brave enough to ask. So you should ask because you are a brave lion outdoors. April Owl says, "Good morning from snowy Connecticut. Excited to be here." Oh, Ben, Jive Bunny says, they approve of your cup. Yeah,
I
Ben with a good.
thought, I just feel that it's lacking the donut now, so I've got donut regret. But next time I'm going to have some to hand.
Oh, yeah, you have the good old DR. Hashtag DR. Donut regret. I feel
Donut
you.
regret.
Jive Bunny is clarifying for us. Thank you, Jive Bunny. You say it's Southwest England or Somerset. Now we know. Thank you, Jive Bunny. I'm in Cape Town at the moment. Where are you exactly, Ben?
Ironically, I am currently in West England. I'm in Dorset, which is pretty much next door to Somerset. So I should SW, but I didn't want to make a terrible mistake, bearing in mind that I am also in SW England.
Well, there you go, Jive Bunny. You can go on and stalk Ben now. Anyway, let's get cracking. Let's get into the first clip. As you know, if this is the first time that you're joining us, this is an opportunity for us to go through special clips that we've collected over the week and discuss some interesting behavior and, of course, answer any questions that you may have. So let's jump straight in and let's head over to Oliphant's River, where we had an interesting interaction between a little baby hippo and a croc. Oh, hello, little baby.
Is it exploring on its own? Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Looks like quite a young one to be out. Oh, is that mum? No, that is a
no.
croc. Where's mum?
I mean, we could definitely hear hippos, but their sound travels so far, it may not be in the immediate vicinity.
Where have you gone, little hippo? This is in deeper water. Ah,
Oh,
there's mum. Something tells me the crocodile is going to think twice about this.
yeah. Oh, that was a very interesting interaction.
I was getting slightly concerned. It seemed to be a somewhat deserted river there, but yeah, unusual to see one off on its own. Obviously, doing a little bit of exploration, but knew where mum was.
Yeah, and I think that's always most important that the calf knows where the mother is and was beelining straight for the mother or in the direction of the mother. But I found it interesting because it's something that we expect to see, but seldom do we actually see it. Where a croc will go after a calf, especially if it appears to be unprotected, but won't go after an adult unless it's in some way injured or sick. And here it was a clear example of the fact that the croc was definitely going straight for that calf. It knew what it wanted. And as soon as the mum showed up, that croc thought twice.
Yeah, no, it's something I've never seen as well, and it is strange to see them in such close proximity to each other. They share the same habitat, and I don't think I ever in well nearly 20 years of watching wildlife have ever actually seen a crocodile actively go for a little one like that. That's probably the closest it's got, but they're pretty good and they don't go wandering off too much. And mum is notoriously active, so yeah, I think the crocodile probably made the best to leave that well alone. There was no great animosity from the mother. She wasn't particularly aggressive. She just stood her ground and just said no.
No,
That unspoken understanding.
exactly. And I was just about to speak about that because there seems to be this kind of unwritten understanding amongst crocodiles and hippos where they'll stay clear of each other. If they happen to be in the same, 3 meter radius or something like that, they still won't interact. It's like there's an unspoken rule between them. And it makes sense because the each of them can inflict significant damage on the other. And if you have two animals like that, why interact when you can display to each other if you really need to? Because if you do fight, either one of you are going to get badly injured. That's going to affect your survival. What do you think of the
No, for sure. I
unspoken
mean,
rule?
well, I've said I've never seen it, and it is amazing to watch them interact the way they do and to share that same habitat. I was just checking subtly on the side there because I know how powerful a hippo's bite is. I just couldn't remember the stats. And a quick check, it's somewhere up to close to 2,000 pounds per square inch. And I think if I remember rightly, a human is like what about 150 to 200 or something. And I know there've been reports of crocodiles literally being bitten in half by hippos and things. So I guess that's evolution. That doesn't have to happen very often for these animals to learn a pretty strong mutual respect. But as we saw a few days ago with the crocodile eating a vulture, there they will, if the opportunity is there, they will take the chance. But so very very important for that youngster to stay close to the rest of the group. Interesting to see her completely on her own as well. I mean, I know they do go away from one another to give birth. Difficult to see exactly how old that little one was, but surprised to see her as isolated as that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And at the same time, even though she appeared to be isolated, the calf also appeared to be isolated. And so we don't know if there were other members that were perhaps, I mean, all we're looking at this point is the eye shine. And so there could have been other members of the pod. Um, deeper in the water, but I would expect that they would pop up if they saw that there was a disturbance of sorts. But all
Yeah.
round,
Also, the fact that it was at night, they might have been out feeding, and for whatever reason, they'd chosen to remain behind, which left them a slightly easier target.
that's actually a really interesting point because, like you said, it's very difficult for us to judge the age of that calf. But maybe because the calf was quite young, she decided to cut her feeding session short or something like that. But that also leaves them
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Maybe got a little bit tired and went back to the buoyancy of the water. Yeah.
Exactly. We have a lot of hellos coming through. Let me get through them all and then we will move on to the next clip. Valerie Explore, you say good morning from Sierra Foothills in California. Oh, it's nice to have you on board. Samantha Durfee, you say hello, snowy Massachusetts, enjoying green tea. I do enjoy a cup of green tea myself. What about you, Ben?
Recently, going off topic slightly, but I bought some buttermint tea the other day, which I have to say is lovely. It's sort of a butterscotch and mint flavored tea, which I've become rather partial to. Uh, if you ever have the
Okay.
opportunity, give it a try.
Okay. I'm always open to trying new teas, but that I've never even heard of that. Butterscotch and mint. Okay. Be a lion outdoors. Oh, you say, oh, believe me, I have no issue asking potentially silly questions. I'm glad to hear that. All my best nuggets of information have come from potentially silly questions I've asked myself or others. And you say you are looking forward to learning as much as possible in anticipation of your NQF2 practice hours. Oh, that's cool. So you're doing your Fagasa. Very, very nice. Well, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask us. And if you follow, I can speak for myself here. Ben can speak for himself. But if you follow me on any social media accounts, you're welcome to ask me questions as well if you need any help. Andy says, good
Absolutely.
afternoon, all. Oh, Ben, did you want to offer your assistance too?
I was offering my assistance. Yeah, absolutely. Always happy to help a fellow wildlife lover.
Yeah, absolutely. Andy, you say, good afternoon, all. You're having, Andy, you're having deep dish pizza and a Pepsi.
I renounce my donut regret. I now have pizza regret.
This is Andy's breakfast, by the way. Lovely. Jan Powers, you say, hello, everyone. A little late, but so thankful to be here. Thank you to Ben and I. We are very happy that you are on board too. Latina from North Carolina says, hello, hello, Latina. Rolling Trouble has rolled in. Thank goodness. You say, hi, all from Washington. Coffee and water here. And Jean Gale says, whoops, late, but just in time to see the little hippo. Well, speaking of the little hippo, Zygote says that the little hippo was lucky that mum was close by. Yep, definitely. It looked very much like the baby hippo knew exactly where mum was. And April Owl says, I had worried about the baby hippo. I saw sleeping on a rock in the middle of the water for a very dry. Ooh, I cannot read. For this very reason, there's no dry there. Yeah, I can't say that I've seen hippo calves on their own. I really can't. I've always seen them either in a nursery or with other adults around. And so seeing a little baby hippo, like you say, just chilling on the rock without anybody else around, um, it says to me that either the adults are around and you can't see it, or something is wrong. But hopefully, the baby hippo you saw did get reunited with its family. And finally, for you, Ben, Valerie explores says bittermint tea. Yum.
Another
I'll be
convert.
I'll believe when I try it. Anyway, let's head over to our next clip. Let's go over to King's Camp in the Timbavati and watch some hunting from a heron. Oh, That's a very confident terrapin we have there.
It seems to have been fooled quite quickly there. He's lost his target. I think. Yeah.
Oh, there's a second one throwing his hat in the ring. A third one.
Third, yeah. The heron's just tried to find a peaceful spot. It seems to sort of take the terrapins a moment to realise that the heron's moved on. I'm not quite sure what terrapin eyesight is like, or how much they would rely on smell for a situation like this.
Yeah, I can't say I know too much about a terrapin's senses, but I have learned a thing or two about, I hate to say it, their intelligence. Watching them, they seem to fumble quite a bit.
Does that look like a platana to you, Trish? I think trying to work out what frog the heron has got there.
Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention to the frog. I was ah definitely
Think
spread
what's the
out
scent?
like
I
a
don't know why
frog.
yeah, why I'm focusing on the frog. I'm not sure. I've always enjoyed frogging.
If we could see little claws, that would be really helpful.
Hmm.
I find it interesting that the heron is not moving its catch over to the land. Oh,
Well, maybe he should have done. Yeah, it didn't seem too bothered by the situation, almost as if I've seen all this before and I'm not in too much danger here. Well, I guess you learn from your mistakes.
yeah, that's complacency. Sorry for that little interruption, everybody. I hope that you can see and hear us fine. Ben, can we hear you?
I hope so. Let me know.
Yay! There we
Yes,
go. At first, I couldn't hear
fantastic.
Ben very well. But anyway, you didn't miss out on much. I believe you saw the end of the heron and the frog and the terrapin clip, which is fantastic. We didn't watch any other clips without you. And now we have a few comments on that clip. Mindy Tillipal says, "What an awesome game of keep away." It was a great game of keep away. But I do believe, like Kaoru says, the terrapin is sneaky. I believe there was a plan there. Whether they knew there was a plan or not, I'm not sure. But my human brain looking for patterns felt like there was a plan there. And I now take away my comment I made on terrapin intelligence. Zygote, you say you've seen a terrapin catch a dove. Oh my goodness. That's interesting. If you happen to have that clip, I'd love to see it. Um, have you ever seen a terrapin catch anything other than the few morsels that are in a water body?
I saw one certainly have a couple of goes. I don't believe he was successful, but lapwing chicks and those sorts of things. But that's when they're sort of this size. But a dove, nothing that big, no. But I suppose terrapins can get pretty big. But no, I've never seen one take out something of this. It must have been a fairly distracted dove. Let's put it that way, not to see that coming. They've also read the same book as you on terrapin intelligence, obviously.
Yeah. I was just thinking, oh, we're going down a dark hole right now. We cannot comment on the intelligence of animals any longer. Anyway, we've just got a couple of minutes left together. We've got two clips to get through, and we will get through them. Let's head over to our new camera at Founders Lodge, which is pretty much in Shamwari. Founders was one of the first. So, maybe just a brief explanation. The way that a lot of these game reserves start is by buying out farmland. So, land that's been used for farming and that were previously areas with abundant wildlife and a wild space. And so, a lot of people who can afford to will buy those farms and restore them. And so, many reserves begin their lives that way. Sometimes it can be a reserve that already exists, and then the owners will buy farmland that or previously used farmland around them and extend the reserve. And founders at Shamwari started in a similar way with somebody who felt that they wanted to restore the ecosystem in the area, bought up farmland, and then extended and extended and extended. So Founders is one of those first spots in Shamwari that was rehabilitated to be what it once was. So let's head over to Founders Lodge in Shamwari. And Shamwari is in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. And let's have a look at a cool interaction between a couple of herbivores. Oh, nice. Herbivore number one, zebra.
Beautiful.
Nice. These are sable antelope. I've only ever seen a sable once. And then there's a rhino in the background there too. So I can let
Yeah,
you
not
know
every
that
day
it
you get
sounds.
rhino and sable. Sorry, Trish.
Sorry. No, go ahead, Ben.
I was just saying it's not every day you get to see rhino and sable in the same shot. I think I've possibly seen sable in Kruger, and I've been lucky enough to spend some time up in Swallow where you do see sable up there. But yeah, very rare to get sable and rhino together.
Yeah, in fact, the only time I'd seen a sable was at Swallow. I was very impressed by it. And it is an impressive antelope. Oh, is that a warthog running in the background too? Yeah.
Oh, baby vortex. Oh,
Now, Founders Lodge is one of those camps where you can actually watch rhino, free roaming wild rhino. There is the other cam that we have at the Hoodspruit endangered species center where we can see the rhinos that have been adopted and taken care of and will be reintroduced when they're a little bit older. In that boma, that's where we get to see Peter and the other rhinos. But here, this is free roaming wild rhinos.
There's a couple of nice bulls there flexing their muscles.
Yeah, they are so impressive though, but I wonder if it's because I don't see sable normally in the Sabi Sand, so it feels extra special to see them. But I think they're really impressive, and I love those
Yeah,
scimitar-shaped horns.
they are pretty impressive, certainly. I've been lucky enough to do some sort of work from a more veterinary side, just with some tour trips that I've done over the years, and got to go to a few sable breeding farms and things. Obviously, they've got some pretty spectacular animals there, and some of those horns really are magnificent. It's such a strong animal as well, just the way it's built, almost sort of giraffe-like, that really strong, thick neck. It's a particular creature.
Beautiful. As Valerie Explore says, gorgeous sable antelope. Absolutely. And I love the color as well. That really dark and contrast with the white. It's unmistakable. And Karu, you say that sables are very cool looking. They are very, very cool looking. I hope we can spend some more time at Founders Lodge. You can see the Eastern Cape landscape. So the Founders Cam is our first cam in the Eastern Cape of South Africa, and you can see that the landscape is quite different. And we'll get into the differences of the landscape the more that we watch that cam as well. And I'd like you to pay attention to the landscape too. Different types of vegetation, very diverse but very different to what we experience in the low veld, where, for example, the cams like Katmai and things like that are up there. So yeah, lots to look forward to there. Anyway, we are out of time, but it's okay. We're gonna watch our last clip and then we'll say goodbye. And this is a very cute elephant chewing right next to the camera. Let's head over to Mabula. Oh, I think this is quite artistic, that first shot.
Hiding behind a lamppost.
Yeah. Oh, this is lovely.
Such a soulful creature, soft eyes.
I think that's the most perfect word. Oh.
Well, there's
Oh! Does it not feel like the elephant just touched us? I feel like I've been touched by an elephant.
I think so. That was beautiful as well. That actually stopped and had a good look at us there, huh? Investigating everything.
The view does remind me a little bit of when I ask my dad to switch the camera around so I can see his face, and I get this view of him.
Well, that was quite the intimate moment, very special. See the textures and yeah, that bit where she stopped and gave us the
Yeah.
beady are amazing.
That was lovely. I mean, we do have to go, but the one thing I noticed that I didn't think about previously was around the pupil, there seems to be like a white ring that I haven't really given much thought or investigation to. So that's going to be my homework until the next time I see you. And now it's time for us to say goodbye. Thank you so much for coming and joining us, Ben. It was lovely to have you as usual.
Lovely to
We
be here.
will
Thank you very much. And
we will try your buttermint tea. And next week, if Den is still with me, we're gonna have pizza, we're gonna have donuts, we're gonna have Pepsi, we're gonna have coffee. It's gonna be a slumber party, essentially. Thank you all for your questions and your comments. We'll see you again next week. Goodbye for now.